while the series was on the sidelines due to the creative minds at Capcom for a number of years while they were busy being a pretty lackluster developer and publisher last generation, and even somewhat in the beginning of this generation, they had managed to make a good comeback, especially with games like Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil 2 Remake, and Monster Hunter World, to name a few, and this being Devil May Cry 5 to add on to that list of a good comeback, I would say. So, yeah, Devil May Cry 5 is definitely back, and to some you might say, oh, it's better than ever, or it's alright, but of course that's their own opinion, and here is my opinion. It's my review on Devil May Cry 5, and I would apologize if you hear extra lisp in my voice today, because, you know, dental work and whatnot. So yeah, I'm gonna probably sound like Sylvester the cat looking for Tweety Bird, but apologies in advance. So
I'm bagging this bitch.
So in Devil May Cry 5, you get the pleasure of playing as three characters, one of them being Nero, who is a returning character, and he works really well in this game, just like he did in 4. And especially since he has the addition of his new little gadget in the form of a double breaker arm, but yet. And these arms are really useful, especially against bosses or regular enemies, and they definitely break any type of repetitiveness that anyone might feel within the game. In my opinion, I didn't feel any form of repetitive nature whatsoever, but if anyone out there who feels like they want to spice things up a bit, these arms are definitely there for that, and can definitely help you when you really want to get really creative in this game, since the game really rewards you for being creative and keeping your combo score up and just keeping the flow going. And Nero definitely has that, a number of different moves and abilities to learn. He's a fun character, really balanced, and just has a lot that you can learn and master along with the other characters. So there's a lot to Nero and a lot to the other characters. And you know, you got V, who's a new character to this game, who in my opinion was my least favorite character to play as out of Nero and Dante. And so he does take control of two characters, well, two creatures better yet, in Griffin and Shadow. I was gonna say Griffin and V. Sorry. Yeah. So Griffin and Shadow. You know, one flying, one on the ground, and V is, you know, he's not really a fighter like that. So he really is just there to do the executing blow, if you will. And you know, a nice little thing, side note, that it seems like they took from the DMC reboot was the kill cams, since the director for this game, along with the past Devil May Cry games, I don't believe all the other ones, but I think 3 and 4 he did. So anyway, he's a fan of, apparently he's a fan of the reboot, so, which you can see a lot of I guess you would say callbacks to the reboot. Like V definitely looks like he would probably fit into the world of DMC, I guess you would say. Anyway, let me not get too sidetracked. So with V, yeah, V, not only does he take control of Griffin and Shadow, but when you activate his Devil Trigger, you get adjusted to Nightmare, which is this big, like, golem-looking creature, and it can be very useful, obviously. And again, similar to Nero, he's, you know, you gotta master him, you gotta get adjusted, and really learn a lot. As for Dante is concerned, he is a very in-depth character with a lot of moves and abilities and so on and so forth that you can learn and master. And again, with all the other characters, there's a lot you can learn and master if you choose to take the time to understand a lot of things, because probably in your first playthrough you're not going to understand everything and really take advantage of everything, which is why in games like this there's a number of other ways, a number of other difficulties that you unlock as you go along. You can unlock, and you can spend red orbs, which are easy to obtain, especially with a particular headgear that Dante acquires in the game. So there's really a lot to learn and master with the combat, with the characters, and it's all very satisfying in my opinion. And especially for veterans, there's a lot that can get out of this game, and even for newcomers as well. It's very fun and rewarding without question. But on top of all that, the visuals are great, they're stunning, they're amazing, in my opinion. The RE engine is a beast, obviously, as you can see, from Resident Evil 7 to Resident Evil 2 Remake, and then in this game, Devil May Cry 5, and yeah. Music is really good as well. I liked it. Thought it, a lot of it was fitting. Voice acting is really good as well. A lot of returning, people, I would say. And the characters are very charming and they really pop out, just like the action is very action oriented. It's very stylish, as it should be. And the story is really good as well. It definitely pushes the series forward, but more importantly, it felt to me like a love letter to the fans of the series and the people who really enjoy the series so much. So that was my takeaway from the story and a lot of other things that were implemented into the game. And before I forget, there is a little section on the main menu where you can actually view the events that occurred before Devil May Cry 5. I think it was called History of DMC. It's something similar to Yakuza 6, if you ever played that game, where it gives you the background of what was happening in the previous games before leading up to this point. And so if you never played a Devil May Cry game before, recommend you check that out, and you probably will want to see it anyway, just in case you forget. I haven't seen it, so I don't know if it goes over anything else other than that, just novels and comics and other things like that that actually are canon. So there is that. But overall, it's really a good and responsive game. It's easy to get into, without question. And to me, it was a really fun game. It was a blast. It was a pleasure to play it, and it was really fun. It didn't really overstay its welcome or anything like that. It didn't feel too short. Didn't feel too long, like I said. And you really keep going forward. There's really no puzzles either, so that doesn't slow anything down if that ever bothered you before. And yeah, it's a really good, solid entry into the series, in my opinion. Again, I can see veterans continuing this game over and over again, different difficulties that you end up unlocking as you keep finishing the game more and more and more, because you see the trophy or achievement list and so on and so forth. And yeah, it's a really fun game. So there's going to be more content down the line, like Bloody Palace, so on and so forth. And yeah, so definitely recommend this game without question, whether if you're into this game or not, or these type of games, or if you're into the series, or if you're questioning anything, you're on the fence, definitely check the game out, play it. It's really fun. So, especially it's a nice little break from these massive open world RPG bullshit, whatever kind of games that are constantly, out there. Anyway, that's my review on Devil May Cry 5. Great game. Definitely check it out. And thank you for watching. Hopefully this was an okay review, I guess, hopefully. Probably forgot a few things to cover. Sorry. I'll get better. I'll try. Anyway, thanks for watching, and see you.